Hey everybody out there in the land of YouTube, Annette Dion here. I'm the host and founder of the Psychic Reporter. I'm back, as you can see. I wanted to jump on and do a Psychic Reporter video. And the MAGA Republicans, I have to play this for you, and when I decided, I'm going to do a video right now, it was with this in mind. They have me very angry, yes they do. There are different levels of rage that I have at the MAGA Republicans. But here is, let's listen to this together. So, let me put it this way. When you haven't stooped low enough according to your need to stoop as low as possible, I'm referring to the MAGA Republicans and the way they apparently think and regard things. If they haven't proven themselves to be totally capable and totally all in and willing to go down to the bottom of the slimy, stinky barrel, when they've gone so far down, what do next? Do they come back up? No, they go further down. Who the hell do they think they are? Going after the freaking Pope. For what reason? Because the Pope preaches love one another, look after one another, do unto others as you would want them to do unto you, and beware of the hypocrites and the wolves in sheep's clothing and the false prophets that do things in the name of Christ that are full of sin. Okay? That's I want to say that's as low as anyone can go, but they always top it. So I'm not sure how they're going to top this, but just indulge me because I need to share this so that I feel better. And I will accompany this with an overall sentiment of fuck them. And we are so angry that we're going to push everything aside and we're going to make sure that we take this regime down ASAP. It's a regime of satanic, demonic forces. They go after the Pope. That's proof enough for me. Doesn't even matter if you're not Catholic. They go after anyone with a message of love one another and peace. Here's MAGA Mike the Christian.
Listen, I'm not one to criticize clerics and religious leaders. We defend free speech, and we certainly defend the free exercise of religion. And a pontiff or any religious leader can say anything they want, but obviously if you wade into political waters, I think you should expect some political response, and I think the Pope's received some of that. I was taken a little bit aback, just honestly, frankly, by something that was said. I think he said several days back that something about those who engage in war, that Jesus doesn't hear their prayers or something. It is a very well settled matter of Christian theology. There's something called the just war doctrine. There's a time to every purpose under heaven.
That is bullshit.
I think what the president's comments, what the vice president's comments reflect is their understanding deep in the skiff and the classified briefings of the stakes that are so high and the situation that we're facing, and the fact that you had the nation that was the largest sponsor of terrorism now having had that ability taken away from them. That means potentially millions of innocent people will be able to keep their lives and not be killed by terrorists. That's a good thing. That's what's come out of this, okay? So I don't...
So he's essentially saying is that the Pope is getting what he asked for.
You probably know Aaron Parnas. So he's basically saying the Pope got what he asked for.
Here, getting what he asked for. He's not the only one. Tom Homan, Trump's supporters, are also one.
So Tom Homan professes to be Catholic. They're making up things that the Pope didn't say. It's not going into politics when you say you're against war. It's not refraining to, or it's not like Trump said, it's not being for crime if you're the Pope and you want people to be treated justly. Here's Tom Marblemouth Homan.
That's for the Catholic Church today as well. Take a listen.
You mentioned the strategy of the church just now. What's your view on the post that the president posted and then deleted yesterday?
Listen to him.
Many people thought,
These people are demonic.
Look, I'm not going to speak for the president. I'm speaking for myself, a lifelong Catholic. I wish they stay out of immigration. They don't know what they're talking about. Because if they wore my shoes for 40 years and talked to a 9-year-old girl that got raped multiple times, or stood in the back of a trailer, back of a tractor trailer, and 19 dead aliens at my feet.
Okay, sorry, I always interrupt. He just mentioned a girl who's 9 years old being raped repeatedly. They're sitting on the Epstein files, and what's been reported in the Epstein files is a woman's account of when Trump did that to her. I'm sorry I have to share this with you, but part of the reason I do these videos is to just have some therapy myself.
Oh boy, they're baked to death. If they understood the atrocities that happen on the open border, I think their opinion would change. And I welcome discussion with any of them because they don't understand. Illegal immigration is not a victimless crime. Where President Trump had the most secure border in the lifetime of this nation right now.
Lie.
Lives are being saved. He's saving thousands of lives a year because he has a secure border.
Okay, lie about the secure border. Biden deported more people than Trump, and Obama deported more people than Trump. But they didn't go around and having ICE raids and torturing and assaulting people.
Human traffickers are out of business, right? The cartels are going bankrupt because of that secure border. I wish they'd understand that, because if they did, I think they have a different opinion.
I wish they understand that I'm a Catholic and I love the Catholic Church, but I wish they just focus on the church. That's the tagline coming out of the Trump administration this afternoon. As always, make sure to like, comment.
Let's read on these a-holes. I hope you had a good Tuesday. It was nice taking you on vacation with me. As always. Well, let's start with Homan. Going after the Pope. I was wondering too if the Dalai Lama says anything, if they're going to go after him too. Actually, let's ask this. Is the Dalai Lama going to speak out against the war, against what this regime is doing? Yes. He already did make a statement. Okay, so a little while ago, I think I read it. It was a couple weeks ago. Is the Dalai Lama going to go public with a statement again? I have a yes. Okay, let's read on Tom Homan and what his fate is. I might be doing, just as a side note, I might be doing a few less videos in the near future because of my low viewership, so just so you know. Tom Homan. You know, Google is a corporate entity that supports Trump, right? You know that. Just wanted to mention it. They're pro-Trump. Google reportedly, when Trump tried to change the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America, I haven't Googled it, but apparently Google went along with it. So I'll look later, but Google it owns YouTube, and they don't want pro-democracy messages unless you have the means and the tech know-how to circumvent all of this ridiculousness with the algorithms. You're plumb out of luck. I'm working on solving the problem. Tom Homan. It's clear who he's in bed with. These people they're like the front men. MAGA Mike is like the front man, and all I see is that they have to speak, they have to be mouthpieces for Trump, for Putin and Trump. And that's all they're doing. They have no souls. They're just these empty, vacuous holes that, it's like there's an echo coming through them, and they just say the things that they're programmed to say, quite literally. So, as far as Tom Homan goes, this is going to be a very challenging time for him, because I'm picking up that he's guilty of war crimes. I love it when he's talking about, sex crimes against children when Trump is in the Epstein files, and then he talks about immigration, and he talks about that he's a Catholic, and he has a problem with what the Pope is saying, and Tom Homan, and that he would like to sit down with the Pope. Why doesn't he? Right? Why doesn't he? Tom Homan should sit down with the freaking Pope so the Pope can read him the Riot Act. And then he literally, Tom Homan said, trafficking. Have any of the ICE and detention center and DHS victims been trafficked? Yes. We'll get to good things in a minute. I just need to go over this. Homan is going to find it very challenging, because what's going to be found out and revealed is whose bidding he's doing. Clearly it's Trump, but there's more than that. It's the prison system. And the Six of Wands. It's a matter of just a little bit of time. I see investigations on Tom Homan going on behind the scenes. His days in this regime are numbered. Let's read on MAGA Mike. The nerve of them. Nice to have the door open. It's the off season here too, so there's not very much traffic, so I can have the door open. And it's not too loud. Okay, MAGA Mike. What is his fate in light of what's going on? It's the end for MAGA Mike. He's in big trouble. It's just a matter, it's a matter of divine timing, and that's where our faith comes in. We have to stop asking when. We just simply have to stop asking when. And simultaneously continue to envision and insist upon in our visualization that they're held accountable. And I have read before on whether the Democrats are going to take the House prior to November, and I've gotten a yes, and I'll ask about that again too. Yeah, Temperance and Two of Pentacles, it's just a matter of time until MAGA Mike is done. While we're at it, we might as well read on Keg's Breath. who's also guilty of war crimes. And Trump is guilty of war crimes. Let's ask again about the Democrats. Will the Democrats take the House prior to November? Yeah, I have a yes. That's a rather strong yes. Once that happens, things get rolling. Keg's breath. What is his fate? I'll read on Pope Leo too. I will do that. This is our military. This is justice. This is a 5 of Cups. The military, as far as Keg's breath goes, the military is holding its cards close to its chest at the present time. But there are definitely things going on that will damage Keg's breath in a big way, and the 5 of Cups is, he'll try to salvage what he can, but he won't be able to salvage much. Let's ask if he's eventually going to be held accountable for his war crimes, as in court and prison. Will he be held accountable for his war crimes? Yes. These people are weak, and they're losers, and they're lowlifes, and they're poor excuses for human beings. They're doing this all in the name of Christ. And they have a problem that the Pope has a problem with that. Stand up for your own goodness. Stand up for your goodness. We need your light. Everybody out there, look at yourself. You are a light being. You're a loving person. We need your light. We need everybody's light right now in the face of this evil. I think it's becoming very clear, not only to those that are spiritually minded, but to others too, what this is. There's no way around it. It's clear as clear can be. Like I talked about last night in my video, this is like a big, maybe more than one, demon. It is more than one. I get that it's more than one. And it's really taken a hold on the United States. And let's read on Trump right now. And he sounded horrible. He sounded so horrible. He made no sense when Maria Bartiromo was. I don't even know how Fox is able to deal with this, because they do the best that they possibly can to make Trump look good. How many times they give him like softballs, and they give him like openings to say the right thing, and he makes sure he bombastically says the wrong thing, and it's all lies besides. So let's see how he is doing. Now you got JD over there that's gonna release a book called Communion. The last book by that title, as far as I know, is Whitley Strieber. Where's Alvin? Whitley Strieber, the book Communion about the alien. That was a scary book cover, that one. All right, Trump. Oh wow. Okay, what I pick up about Trump is that the 7 of Cups and the Devil, this indicates to me that the evil demonic has him fooled into thinking he's superhuman. That is a thing. Has him fooled into thinking he's a superhuman, and that nothing can touch him. And his experience in life has shown him that. So what's happened to him is he's under this delusion that no matter what he says or does, nothing will happen to him. And nothing has. So it makes you wonder, right? But the gaslighting card is also indicating that that's all he has. And the devil turns things backwards. And the devil is the father of lies. So that's where he is right now. But I also get that he has no idea. He has no concept of this is right and this is wrong. He doesn't discern the two. To him, it's all just everything that he does is right, no matter how wrong it is. If that makes sense. But the Knight of Pentacles, he's going to pay. He's going to pay. Let's read on JD. I'm covering all the demons tonight. But I'm going to read on the Pope too. All right. All right. JD's book. JD on his book tour. Well, actually, let me ask this. I can't even imagine being as fake as these people are. Can you imagine going after the Pope and then going on a book tour that you wrote about converting to Catholicism? And not only that, being the last person to see Pope Francis, I don't know if he was the very last, but the day before Pope Francis died, and Francis didn't want to meet with him. But he's coming out with a book called Communion about converting to Catholicism. How's that going to go for him? Is the book tour going to happen? Is that book tour going to happen? It doesn't look like it. What the hell is he doing on a book tour? Maybe I have that wrong. Maybe he's not planning a book tour. I'm just assuming that if you release a book, you'd go on tour. Is there a tour scheduled for the book? Yeah. He goes on a book tour. Trump goes golfing and has parties at Mar-a-Lago and goes to a UFC fight. Calls a war and then goes and hangs out and has a good time. JD. Vlad. I've been talking about JD and Putin. And I said if JD was Russian, he would have to watch his back. Look at what just happened to Viktor Orban. It wasn't like JD helped him. I'm kind of asking about his book tour. Whenever I read on JD, I get that the people hating him is going to really put a roadblock in his way. That so many people hate him. And the Four of Swords is actually, even though that generally comes up about Trump being ill, I think JD is ill. I think he's not feeling very well. I mean, it would make sense. Let me tune into that. I think he feels sick. I think the stress is making him sick. I think he's a mess. I feel like he's a mess. Is JD, is he physically sick? Is he feeling physically sick? Yeah. Stress will do that. Is JD having intestinal issues? Because that's where stress would generally go. Yeah. Is his book tour going to be successful? God, no. I get that it will be cut short. These people are totally delusional, like Melania thinking that people want to buy her book and they want to go see her movie. Boy, that movie definitely, it came out and everyone, according to the regime, was supposed to run out and watch it. I heard they even made the soldiers watch it. I don't know how many. had to watch it. But they go out there, they think people are going to love their movies and love their books. Do they really think that? Do they really think people are going to love what they have to offer? They really do. I pick up that they think about the MAGA base. That's a strong yes. They really do think that people will love the MAGA books and the MAGA movies. Really strong yes. They actually, wow, that's wild. They actually do think that. Let's do a switcheroo and let's read on Pope Leo. Wow, that's astounding that they really do think that people just love them. How do they get so deluded? I also pick up that they're banking on this premise that it's the whole idea if they say something enough that people will believe it, but it extends beyond that to if they say things enough and if they say enough how wonderful they are, that people will see it. And that's not working. Because people are seeing the price of gas for one reason. Okay, in light of all that's going on, what will we see from Pope Leo? I'm getting that Tom Petty song. I won't back down, that one. That's what I'm getting about Leo. What you're going to see the Pope doing so much is getting louder about helping the poor. And something is going to happen quickly, and the Queen of Swords is here, which is... Queen of Swords has been Kamala all along, so something quickly happens. Let me see what that has to do with. Because I'm reading on Pope Leo. Does Leo know that the election was stolen from Kamala? He does know. It's not like they don't know things at the Vatican. He definitely knows that that's a fact. So with that knowing, I also pick up that Pope Leo prays to Mother Mary a lot. He's a holy guy. He spent a lot of time in Peru. I'll just leave that there. But the reason I'm bringing that up is he spent a lot of time in Peru. Leo spent decades in Peru. I'm pretty sure it was decades. The reason I'm saying that is... What do you think, Alvin? Did Pope Leo, when he was a priest there, did he talk to aliens? He didn't know he was talking to aliens, but he was. They get in telepathically. More on that later. Stay tuned. Keep it tuned to this channel. But, you know, very quickly something's going to happen. I also pick up Melania and the Prime Minister in Italy. These are my cards that were made in Italy, too. The Hanson Roberts deck. I'm pretty sure they were. So, as far as Leo goes, quickly, this is coming to a conclusion quickly. And he's going to speak out and speak out and speak. It's almost like Pope Leo is taking this as an opportunity to speak out about helping the poor. Because now that he's in the spotlight, more than he's ever been, that's what he's going to use it for. So I think Leo is going to continue to pound away at this MAGA movement because, you know, like indirectly. Like he's even doing now. He's saying that he's against war and he's for peace, and they're all like making it out, all the MAGAs are making it out to be. He said something really specific and was making political decisions, and it's like, no. His message about helping one another is going to get very, very strong. So, let's pick a goddess card. And I feel like I want to pick a rune card too, so we'll do that. I hope it's getting nice where you are if you have had a long winter. A little break is good, right? There's that noise! cold out there for a motorcycle. We have Tiwas. Courage, self-sacrifice, duty, leadership, victory, justice. Yeah. Tiwas. Tyr, the god of the sky, battle, and victory, is perhaps best renowned for the sacrifice he made during the binding of the wolf, Fenrir. The loss of his sword hand. Oh, okay. What this is speaking to, I won't read the whole thing, but it's about sacrifice for the greater good. And I'll read you the invocation. Bestow upon us your light and your might. May righteous justice empower our will, conquering all that stands in the way of what is right and what is most high. That's beautiful. That's perfect. And let's read a goddess card. Please hit the thumbs up and hype the video if you in fact see a hype button. And I'm going to start pushing memberships again because it's worth it. Okay, all the videos that I do are under memberships for the members. Lots of videos that you can learn from, and you can learn like what I do, how to do what I do, and other things. We have Skuld, the future. We've gotten her before. The message today is really strong about tuning into what you want for the future. Feeling the feeling as if it's happening now. Okay, and this speaks to not being obsessed about how impatient we are and how long things are taking. This speaks to that. And not asking when. Just staying in your energy, your manifesting energy. When you become overly fixated on the future, you rob yourself of the capacity to truly co-create a life that is meaningful and rich. It is because doing so gives your power away to something, some destination that has no substance. The truth is you can get back into alignment. So consider this, your life now and how you respond to it are the seeds that will grow into your future. Your alignment task is to remove all the weeds before they choke the life out of your intentions. Bless your life today, find the lessons and the conditions of your world, and be compassionate to yourself and others. That's what the message of Pope Leo is. We are all learning to find strength in our most vulnerable selves as the world changes rapidly around us. The goddess Skuld is with you all the way and always. That's basically saying we're going through great changes, and staying in the moment and deciding what we want to see in our future is essential. It's so critically important. And I am repeating myself on that all the time, but it's a message that's worth repeating. Repetition, with repetition, things sink in, so let's make it good stuff that sinks in. Alright, that's what I have for you tonight. Why don't you book a reading at psychicandnetion.com or Spiritual Life Coaching? I'm here to help. Alright, I'll see you soon. Thumbs up, hype. Namaste. Leave a comment too. Bye.